about me. Holding on, 'cause I still feel your hello, hello. I know that I'm living with ghosts.
King and Queen of the Ring.
This premium live event was supposed to happen a year ago in this very location, but was removed due to reasons we still don't know and probably never will understand.
It's 92 degrees, but it's
While Michael Cole is telling us what the temperatures are like tonight in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, we can also hear someone else talking. Did Vince McMahon never truly leave and his voice is now heard via AI? Massive plot twist. I'm immediately throwing in 15 sins because the main event for the WWE Championship already feels like a throwaway filler match due to the fact that Logan Paul, the United States Champion, was just randomly selected as the challenger for no reason at all. Sure, the Saudi Prince probably requested him, but at least have Logan find his way into the storyline instead of Nick Aldis randomly saying, "Here you go, here's your opponent for the show."
for a championship at SummerSlam.
And now I'm taking it off a sin because finally, WWE goes back to the roots of 2002 where the King of the Ring winner, with the addition of the Queen of the Ring this year, actually gets a championship match at SummerSlam, thus making the winner of the tournament feel all the more important. That should be the case for all future kings and queens here. This is unfortunate to think about, but it looks like events in Saudi Arabia are now the only premium live events that will have opening pyrotechnics in the intro, and that sadly also includes WrestleMania itself. What a shame. Not gonna lie, Becky Lynch's full body outfit was very creative. I always love it when the women get creative with their ring gear. While most continue to bitch about how women are not allowed to show skin, I'm more focused on how creative they can get with said limitations. Honestly, why couldn't Becky Lynch just high-five everyone around the ringside area so no one would feel left out?
You know what they say, second sucks.
I thought the old saying was first is the worst and second is the best. Maybe that explains why Liv Morgan had such popularity all the time. Does that make her the worst if she wins tonight? Nah, I'm getting too far into it.
I don't understand this sense of entitlement.
Honestly, I agree with Corey Graves here. Rhea Ripley putting an injury on Liv Morgan was far less destructive in terms of betrayal compared to so many things we've seen in the past. One injury and Liv becomes a crazy psychopath obsessed with revenge, and those obsessed with revenge usually destroy themselves too.
Liv has never defeated Becky in her career.
Commentator brings up how a wrestler has never defeated their opponent in the past conveniently on the one night that said wrestler successfully defeats their opponent cliche. I don't know if it was that or the report on Becky Lynch's contract that made it obvious, but we might as well crown Liv Morgan right now since the past losses were brought up. Also, hearing the crowd chanting and singing loudly this early on makes me wonder why they were not the ones attending any prior events in Saudi Arabia. The effect of the audience could have made Goldberg vs. The Undertaker look at least 0.5% more tolerable than it ended up being, which started at 0% in case anyone is wondering, of course.
This is her first match tonight in 2 years for a singles title.
You should probably be more specific when you say that because Liv Morgan literally competed in a battle royal for this very same championship a month ago. Just saying, every detail matters here.
But you can't expect to come back and just be handed where you were.
Unless you're Roman Reigns, John Cena, or Hulk Hogan, of course. Any other position didn't work for them, brother.
She needs to beat Becky Lynch decisively.
Corey Graves brings up another good point because Liv Morgan herself made it clear that part of her revenge tour is to prove that she can beat Becky Lynch without any cheating tactics, interferences, or other shenanigans working in her favor. She fails to do that tonight and on Raw the following Monday and ends up forgetting all about that. But guess who did not forget all about that? This guy.
Lynch.
It's good that the fans are much more active in this Saudi Arabia event compared to others, but it sounds to me like they're already bored since they are singing Seth Rollins' music. Damn, even when Becky Lynch is in the spotlight, it's her husband that gets the attention.
If you lose, you go to the back of the line. General managers have made that very clear.
General managers have made it very clear that you go to the back of the line when you lose a championship match, and yet they don't go through with it nearly every single time.
Second Roman again, Liv.
Becky Lynch clearly missed the turnbuckle, yet reacts as though her head got hit. Is part of Liv Morgan's revenge tour learning how to do crazy magic?
Liv.
The coordination of these moves are very hard to watch at times, if you ask me.
Covered by Lynch and a kick out at 2.
Liv Morgan hardly moved at all in that kick out. Looked more like she told Becky Lynch to get off of her, and Becky responded with, "As you wish, my lady."
And a missile drop kick to the
Looks like Liv Morgan forgot to take her car keys out of her back pocket before competing in this match tonight.
I only see one woman on her feet.
Unless there's a legitimate earthquake taking place right now, I don't believe that the fans are as wild as France were earlier this month. That shaken camera looks like it's being obviously shook on purpose compared to the stomp into the crowd causing the shake. If I were Becky Lynch, I wouldn't get distracted by Dominic Mysterio's appearance. I would have realized that he's here to try and distract me, and then rip Liv Morgan's arm even harder to get her to submit faster before Dominic could do anything.
What is this damn fool doing here?
Dominic Mysterio was literally right in front of the commentators, yet none of them noticed him until the rest of us did. I get that they are looking at monitors, but they do have peripheral vision, right?
Make sure Liv doesn't get her hands anywhere near Mommy's championship.
If that was Dominic's plan, then why didn't he do something to stop Liv from even making it to Saudi Arabia in the first place, as opposed to showing up right as Liv was about to tap out to Becky? It's at that moment that I ain't buying the bullshit of him trying to help Becky at all. I'm more shocked that Liv Morgan didn't get mad at Dominic since her goal was to defeat Becky Lynch with no controversy during her revenge tour. Once again, did not forget about that.
That should have been me.
So Chad Gable was mad at Sami Zayn because it was Sami who beat Gunther at WrestleMania 40. Valid, of course. However, the fault should really go to Chad because he not only lost the chance to Sami, but he also chose to train Sami to beat Gunther when he could have said no. Chad Gable truly is one of the dumbest idiots here. Great wrestler, dumb idiot. Also, this is a triple threat match involving Bronson Reed, yet the full story is Sami Zayn and Chad Gable. Bronson is here for professional reasons, which makes him the odd man out, and the one who's obviously taken the fall just to keep the feud between Sami and Chad going. And to be honest, couldn't they have just had Sami take on Chad one-on-one here tonight instead? Clever of the fans to chant "You suck" to Chad Gable exactly as they would for Kurt Angle. However, the chant doesn't go well with Chad's music. I actually got a good one that goes well to his music. Listen to this. Gable, you really do suck. Gable, you really do suck. Gable, you really do suck. Gable, you really suck. If Chad Gable was always going to eject Maxine Dupree from the stadium, then why did he even get her to come along for the ride to Saudi Arabia? She got dressed up in her own custom suit and everything, and all she does is get ejected. Poor Maxine.
Here tonight.
These QR codes for the Wyatt Sicks are awesome, just like when the late Bray Wyatt was making his return in 2022. However, the annoying part is they expect us to have our phones at the ready to scan them once they pop up on screen for a brief second. And even if we did, we still wouldn't have connected with the scan before it disappeared again. Also, you totally are scanning this right now to rewatch the video of the guy playing video games and getting killed, aren't you?
Our code over the weekend, I can't figure out.
Michael Cole somehow can't figure out that Uncle Howdy is the one behind these QR codes after we went through this exact same situation nearly 2 years ago when Howdy was introduced by Bray Wyatt. How can you not figure this out? Insert the minor spelling mistake gifs we tend to see on social media when I tell that fan of the crowd that he spelled Sammy incorrectly. What's with this camera angle? We trying to get a close look at the security man at ringside because he's a plant ready to jump the barricade and strike at any moment? I think because of that, WWE backed out of giving that guy a moment. Sami Zayn has faced Chad Gable many times by now and knows how quick and devious he is. Yet only 1 minute into the match, he prepares to punch Chad in the corner and instead chooses to talk to the crowd. Yes, I too am shocked that the fans in Saudi Arabia are finally livening up after 6 years, but stay focused on your opponent, dude.
No one feels bad for Otis.
Me when I lie.
Missile drop kick, Reed. Go.
I don't get the logic of that. Chad Gable hits a dropkick on Bronson Reed, who stumbles backward but all of a sudden falls forward. What the hell happened there?
King Kong climbing the Empire State Building.
Commentator makes a King Kong ascended the Empire State Building reference every time a bigger wrestler climbs the ropes cliche.
Can Big Bronson finish the task?
Well, considering Corey Graves just asked that question aloud for everyone to hear, I'm just going to assume that Bronson Reed is going to fail at finishing the task at hand against Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental Championship. I could be wrong. Nah, I'm on point here.
With the money, and now Gable hits.
That was amazing. First you got Bronson Reed hitting a perfectly executed moonsault for a guy his size. And yes, he missed Sami Zayn completely because the latter moved out of the way. But then you go from that to Chad Gable successfully hitting his own moonsault. Alright, rough start to the premium live event, but things are picking up.
First man to gain pinfall or submission.
Just in case you somehow didn't know how a triple threat match works or even figured it out after seeing wrestlers break up every pin attempt so far.
The win, and it's Chad Gable barely.
Chad Gable should consider himself lucky that he managed to pull Sami Zayn off of Bronson Reed, because, submission or not, if Sami were still atop Bronson, the pin would have continued and Sami would have retained his title just like that. Boy, the anger from Chad will be much more crazy than it already is if that happened, am I right? Honestly, if Chad Gable was so desperate to win the Intercontinental Championship by any means necessary, then why doesn't he immediately pull a Kurt Angle and drop down to hyperextend Sami Zayn's leg, causing the ultimate pressure in the ankle lock? I'm just saying.
Gold. And Sami, the ropes don't matter.
We sure about that? The rules to triple threat matches tend to change from time to time. Rope breaks don't count one day, but they suddenly count another day. Alright, that was extremely creative. Double ankle lock. Chad has an ankle lock cinched in on Bronson while his own ankle is caught in Sammy's. Gotta love it when the creativity shows in these championship matches. Bronson Reed was trapped in an ankle lock for over a minute, yet somehow his ankle is not injured and he can easily lift up both Sami Zayn and Chad Gable without so much as a single wince of pain. Sorry, but I ain't buying that.
Absolutely no way! You got it!
This match is freaking amazing. After all the crazy stunts and feats of strength, I can't resist taking away 3 sins. Having a lot of fun with this event. This match was going great and Chad Gable was proving how much of a fantastic start he was. And then he had to get Otis involved when he wasn't even in any danger of losing. Chad literally ends up costing himself the Intercontinental Championship out of his pure stupidity. And after everything we just witnessed, that's a damn shame. Putting those 3 sins back and adding 2 more for a letdown ending to what was a great match.
Otis! Oh no!
Chad Gable still somehow keeps Otis by his side for another month after this, yet ejects Akira Tozawa and Maxine Dupree for simply existing. What an asshole. That fan in the background accidentally mooning the camera. Pull your pants up, bozo. No one wants to see your ass.
Is there a secret to how well you two have gelled?
Even Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill can't hide their absolute what the fuck reaction to that stupid question from Byron Saxton. Is there a secret to how well you gel as a team? Like, what the fuck kind of question is that? And if there is a secret, why the hell would they tell you in front of the entire world? Obviously not the first time anyone has said this, but Byron Saxton is an idiot. A-Town Down Under are here at ringside for the upcoming match. Can't wait to see what kind of impact they are going to have when Lyra Valkyria takes on Nia Jax for the Queen of the Ring crown. Wait, seriously?
She fancies herself a Morgan.
At that precise moment, Liv Morgan returned with her newly won Women's World Championship and attacked Lyra Valkyria. LOL.
What do you do to pull off a massive upset?
Basically the same thing other wrestlers have done to upset the bigger wrestlers. A sudden roll-up and a quick 3 count. That's how it usually works.
However, what Nia brings to the dance.
Lyra Valkyria clearly looked down at Nia Jax's leg, but then chooses to go for a headlock takedown. Yeah, sure, that's totally gonna be effective in this situation.
Play a game of cat and mouse.
See, even Nia Jax is probably thinking to herself, is this girl serious? This is about to be one of the most easy victories of my career. And assuming that's what Nia Jax is thinking, sadly, it's extremely accurate given the result.
And sends Lyra.
wow.
Nice athleticism.
Is Lyra serious? One single cartwheel as a counter to Nia tossing her across the ring and she starts brushing her shoulder like she's Luke Skywalker in Star Wars The Last Jedi. Oddly enough, I got a bad feeling about this.
And Lyra now through the air.
Nia Jax's arm was barely grazed by Lyra Valkyria's kick, and that was somehow enough to make her stumble across the ringside area. We're barely a minute into the match, and there's already a lot of sins to find. Yikes.
There is no way Bayley wants to mix it up with Nia Jax. Oh!
Bayley has already beaten Nia Jax in the past, so why would she be terrified to beat Nia again? Corey Graves is not really making a lot of sense tonight.
Middle turnbuckle!
Lands on the edge.
Nia Jax must really love that meme of her from 2021 since she keeps making references to that moment. If you know, you know.
Down goes Jax.
This has gotta be one of the weirdest sins I have ever placed on my videos. This pinfall should not count for anything because Nia Jax's ass is literally on the bottom rope. Does it only count as a rope break if it's the arm or the leg on the rope? Because I'm pretty sure any part of the body being out of bounds counts as a rope break here.
Can Lyra capitalize?
Well, Lyra could have capitalized had she not stupidly rolled Nia Jax onto her stomach for the pin when Nia was already lying on her back. That may as well be the factor that cost Lyra the Queen of the Ring crown if you ask me.
Can't quite do it.
That is it!
That was one of the most brutal annihilators I have ever seen from Nia Jax. The way Lyra Valkyria was squashed, followed by Nia folding her arms in dominance, made for a crazy ending to the Queen of the Ring tournament. Congratulations are indeed in order. Great moment for Nia Jax being crowned, however she has to hang on to the crown to prevent it from falling off her head due to the hairstyle she chose for this occasion. Might have been a better idea just to hold the crown instead, because then it would only fall off due to clumsiness.
Save your congratulations, Kayla. I don't need it.
And that was enough for Kayla Braxton to decide that she's done with the WWE.
Becky, her championship, Becky.
Becky Lynch is literally storming out of Gorilla despite the fact that her match with Liv Morgan ended over an hour ago. Did she spend the last hour yelling at Triple H then Dominic Mysterio before finally leaving at this moment? I won't lie, the video package showing the tournament results leading into this final was a great addition to the event. Just in case anyone missed out on the tournament throughout Raw and SmackDown, here are the quick results with former King of the Ring Wade Barrett describing it. Nice. Tournament! King of the Ring Tournament. My stomach just churned from hearing that, although I did have some fish that tasted funny while writing this. Probably a mere coincidence. Also, nearly 10 full minutes of entrances for only 2 wrestlers, and almost 7 minutes of it was Randy Orton. I know that it was awesome to hear the crowd singing along to Randy's music, especially after what happened at Backlash France, but did we really have to replay the song 3 times? I'm just saying, it gets a bit overkill when it loops many times. With how long Randy Orton stares intently at the King of the Ring crown, he jinxed his momentum and awarded Gunther the crown. Bad luck, y'all. After we went through 10 minutes of entrances, we're going to spend another 2 to 3 minutes standing around and listening to the crowd singing the Olay song. Now that I think more about it, WWE really did have room for one more match to add to the card.
Yeah, word dream match is thrown around a lot.
Just because the term dream match is thrown around a lot doesn't mean it isn't true. One match may not be the dream for one wrestling fan, but definitely could be for another. I'm just saying, nothing wrong with wanting dream matches.
This is a special atmosphere, Cole.
This has been going on for the better part of 5 minutes here. I know that the audience is hyped up, but keep that hype going by continuing to fight. Standing around is just going to stall the momentum we got going here.
Explain to those of us who don't understand.
Gunther tries to grab Randy Orton's hair in order to take advantage of getting out of that side headlock, and then realize that Randy doesn't have any hair whatsoever on his head. The advantage of being bald in wrestling pays off. I always think to myself, is the counting even necessary if the referee is never going to actually disqualify the participants? He counts up to 4, almost says 5, and then proceeds to get in between them to break things up instead of finishing the count. I guess the wrestlers are just calling the referee's bluff, and even the referee himself knows that he's more powerless than we think.
Gunther frustrated, cheap shot.
How in the hell was that a cheap shot? That is exactly how Gunther usually begins his chopping rampage against his opponents. Randy Orton was facing him too. Now if Randy had his back turned to Gunther, then it'd be considered a cheap shot. But this was anything but a cheap shot. What in the hell is going on with the commentators tonight? And why do I keep asking that question almost every video? Taking chops from Gunther means it's time to start doing laps around the ring like we're Roman Reigns on a regular night.
Gunther knows
I gotta take a sin off because Randy Orton once again scared the crap out of me, the way his arm started twitching after he failed to hit the RKO on Gunther. Randy is one of the best when it comes to selling injuries, especially when we know his back took him out of the game for almost 2 years. Sometimes I still think this was a legitimate injury moment here. Gunther has finally taken control of the match and has Randy Orton exactly where he wants him, so his next move is to climb the ropes and pose for the audience, thus allowing Randy to get enough time to recover. And back injury or not, this is still Randy fucking Orton, one of the most evil snakes who can strike at any moment. Why would Gunther underestimate him?
I'm still in disbelief it happened.
I get that Gunther is someone who methodically tears his opponents apart, but when there's only 1 or 2 moves hit within the period of 3 minutes, maybe we're moving a little too slow here, like New York City traffic slow.
He ducks underneath.
When I see Gunther grab the rope to prevent Randy Orton from hitting his signature power slam, I'm honestly shocked. Not because Gunther stopped it from happening, but because it took this long before someone realized Randy Orton's moveset is becoming more and more predictable with each passing year. I'm just saying.
Randy's halfway across the ring. Gunther lost it.
I'm going to take another sin off because Gunther did a good job catching himself when he lost his balance on the top rope and still managed to connect the splash. I guess even loose ropes are no match for the ring general. You see, folks? You paying attention? This is the right way to perform an injury sell in professional wrestling. The right way. Randy Orton successfully hits the RKO, but the back injury stops him from being able to capitalize on the situation, thus allowing Gunther to kick out. Wrestlers should never sell an injury but then magically heal themselves by quickly going for the pin and celebrating like it was no big deal. That's an insult. 3 sins off here. All that great build-up throughout the amazing King of the Ring tournament, and it ends with Gunther getting the victory despite Randy Orton's shoulders getting off the canvas. The worst part is, Randy doesn't even get some sort of rematch against Gunther. It was a nobody gives a fuck that you got screwed situation, and I'm throwing in 30 sins. It deserves it. If Gunther was to win, he should have won without controversy. This was stupid. Oh god, is Byron Saxton about to ask Gunther what the secret is to his success as the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time? One more chop, Gunther!
That match official right now.
Damn, Triple H got the crowd hyped up for the possibility of Damian Priest facing Drew McIntyre for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship at this very moment based on his wording, only for them to feel shut down when he continues and makes the match for Clash at the Castle. I hope the fans didn't actually think a world title match was going to be an impromptu situation for a premium live event. That was such a loud reaction that I feel sad for them.
I want to know where 2025 is going to be.
I'm just gonna say this now, WWE was hyping the shit out of the 2025 SummerSlam location due to bringing up 2024 and 2026's location. with the commentators being openly hyped for the mystery location. That being said, WWE better put the 2025 SummerSlam in a city that hasn't hosted a WWE event at all, or not for the last 32 years.
Your next challenger has been determined.
For literally no reason. As I've mentioned before, Logan Paul simply gets a WWE Championship match against Cody Rhodes simply because... that's it. That's the literal reason. Logan Paul gets a WWE title match because Nick Aldis said, what the hell. Also, if we want to make things even more interesting, why couldn't this match be title for title or a non-title champion versus champion match? Because now it's even more obvious that Cody Rhodes is winning, and we're just trying to pass the time. Also, Cody Rhodes is still feuding with AJ Styles during this time. Why couldn't we just do the rematch tonight instead of Clash of the Castle? Why add in this randomness?
WWE Championship only.
Logan Paul has only defended the United States Championship twice in the last 6 months, just FYI. And he's been wrestling more frequently this year compared to previous years, yet doesn't put his US title on the line when it really should be. Another reason why this match is a bad idea and a waste of time. Here are 5 more sins. I like the idea of Michael Cole not only hanging on to Logan Paul's brass knuckles, but also wearing them at the same time. You could tell he was having the time of his life here. Seriously? In Saudi Arabia, the country that unleashes so much pyrotechnics at practically every WWE event, Cody Rhodes, the guy who shoots off the most pyro in his entrance, gets the non-pyro treatment. What the actual fuck? And even when they launched the pyro, it was very delayed. Oh boy, we are not off to a good start for this already useless and waste of time main event.
And it is for the undisputed.
Was one of the conditions for Ibrahim to be the guest ring announcer of this main event for him to do the whole thing in English instead of Arabic? If so, that was a dick move in my opinion. Even those who don't speak Arabic would get the gist of what he's saying because of the environment, and the crowd would have been more into it too.
Cody hasn't seen or experienced.
What's honestly funny about the shot is it looks like Cody Rhodes and Logan Paul are doing the mannequin challenge from way back in 2016 as they're looking at the audience. Someone accidentally paused them with a remote? Adam Sandler, what have you done?
For Roman Reigns, his birthday today.
It is random and has nothing to do with this match, but happy birthday Roman Reigns. Yes, I get that Roman was dethroned by Cody Rhodes, but that's got nothing to do with this.
Logan Paul just wins. Amateur wrestling, boxing, YouTube.
Scamming? Oops.
Logan has been hard to deal with as United States champion.
Mostly because Logan Paul is never really around to represent as the United States champion. Sure, he promotes the hell out of it all the time outside the WWE. However, inside the WWE is where it matters the most.
Imagine if he wins the undisputed WWE title.
Well, then we can pretty much guarantee an even less defense rate for the WWE Championship compared to when Roman Reigns had it. Logan Paul used the power of declaring his name and calling Cody Rhodes a bitch, which ensured that smacking Cody's hand on the ring canvas would increase the pain and suffering. The power of the word bitch.
To go as well, and now Cody Rhodes, vertical soup.
I gotta take a sin out because both Cody Rhodes and Logan Paul did a great job ensuring the latter's safety while in the standing vertical suplex position. Cody was starting to lose his grip and Logan made sure he was as vertical as possible, long enough for Cody to bounce him off the ropes. Excellent ring awareness from both wrestlers. That has got to be one of the weakest shoves into the stairs I have ever seen. The stairs themselves hardly even move from the impact. Logan Paul wasting precious time taunting Michael Cole, who has his brass knuckles, when he should really be focusing on Cody Rhodes, especially since that toss into the stairs was hardly effective, if at all. Not to mention, this is the guy who conquered the Tribal Chief at WrestleMania. Pay attention!
Pay attention, Michael.
Hello, Kettle. My name is Pot. You're black.
Rhodes. Up goes Cody.
Man, I absolutely love the many one-shots we get in the production these days. Here we have an entire series of punches and a powerbomb throw from Logan Paul onto Cody Rhodes, and it's all done on this one single camera angle. If Kevin Dunn were in charge, this would have been the 47th camera angle. Amazing.
Made more famous by Logan Paul.
That'll tick some people off.
Pretty much any sort of praise toward Logan Paul will tick people off, so what's the difference, Michael?
Cody now and Logan Paul.
Wrestler moves out of the way and brags about it, thinking he's safe from additional harm, but then gets attacked again, cliche. Missed opportunity to have Michael Cole get up from the announce desk and knock out Logan Paul's entourage with the brass knucks Logan gave him in the first place. How awesome would that have been? Imagine the pop Michael would get for something as awesome as that.
You're nothing but a loser. That's what you are.
For once, I'm getting flashbacks to the time Michael Cole insulted wrestlers in 2011, and I'm smiling about it, because it was awesome to see him stand up to Logan Paul knowing he might get hit. Michael Cole is a badass in 2024. Considering how much Corey Graves kisses Logan Paul's ass, I'm actually shocked that he stood up and defended Michael Cole, even after making fun of him for getting played by the Maverick.
The Nightmare trying to push the pace.
Good thing Logan flipped forward with as much power as he did, otherwise Cody would have accidentally dropped him right on his head with that miscommunication. And no matter what one thinks of Logan Paul personally, nobody should get injured in a professional environment like this.
Now, continuing the onslaught.
Even while trying to prevent the figure 4 leg lock, Logan Paul accidentally let out a Ric Flair woo when Cody started to lock it in. Whoopsie! Logan Paul tells Cody Rhodes that his leg is about to be broken, as though expecting Cody to release the hold and apologize for his actions. You literally hit him with brass knucks earlier. Why would he care about the status of your leg in this situation?
Oh, whoa!
Cody, right infringement. Didn't work for Roman Reigns, why would Logan think it worked for him? The fact that Logan Paul's frog splash through the announce table was shot with his one single drone deserves 5 sins off. That was one of the greatest ideas and really made us feel like we were immersed in the action. I am loving the production of WWE nowadays.
I hate you!
Sure, monologuing is a villain's greatest weakness, but also Logan Paul was stating the obvious when he told Cody Rhodes that he hates him. Like, no shit, man, this very mistake is what ultimately cost Logan Paul the chance to become WWE Champion. Damn, we almost went through an entire premium live event without the referee getting knocked over at the crucial point of the match cliche. We're in the last 5 minutes of the show and we were so close. Would have been historic. But guess we'll have to wait until next time. Given how Cody Rhodes used to be a heel himself who took shortcuts, how the hell did he not figure that turning around after seeing an unconscious referee meant that Logan Paul would hit a low blow? I would have instantly prepared to block my junk since anything goes for the time being.